You have a compelling business idea, but until you form a solid legal structure, that idea cannot sign a client contract, secure outside funding, or even open a bank account. Over the next 5 minutes, we will walk through the exact roadmap to launch your business in India. We will look at how to choose the right legal entity, gather the required documents, and navigate the incorporation process. By the end of this guide, you will have a concrete execution plan to legally establish your startup and bypass the common bureaucratic hurdles that stall new founders. This comparison matrix breaks down your first major strategic choice: registering as a firm, such as a sole proprietorship or partnership, versus registering as a company, like a private limited, LLP, or one-person company. The defining feature of a firm is unlimited liability. If the business incurs debt or fails, your personal assets are fully exposed to cover those obligations. Companies provide limited liability. This establishes a strict legal wall between you and the business, ensuring your personal wealth remains protected regardless of what happens to the company. Setting up a firm is highly affordable and requires minimal capital. Establishing a company involves mandatory government fees and requires a larger initial budget. If you plan to raise capital, angel investors and venture capitalists strictly require the company structure to issue shares. They will not invest in a firm. Companies also receive exclusive nationwide protection for their brand name. Firms do not have this automatic legal safeguard. If your long-term strategy relies heavily on outside funding and personal asset protection, you absolutely must register a formal company. If you are bootstrapping a low-cost solo project, a firm provides exactly what you need to start. The documentation process scales with your choice. Firms require minimal paperwork, usually just the founder's personal PAN card and basic proof of address. This checklist shows how the requirement shifts for a company. While basic ID checks off instantly, you quickly need advanced digital documentation. Specifically, you must secure a digital signature certificate and a director identification number. Firms follow a highly DIY-friendly track. Because proprietorships lack a central government registry, you prove your business exists by acquiring local licenses, like a Shop Act registration or an FSAI certificate. Companies follow a strict professional track. You must secure official name approval from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, followed by the drafting of a memorandum and articles of association. Do not try to execute the company track entirely on your own. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs requires a certified professional, either a chartered accountant or a company secretary, to audit and sign off on your documents before approval. Your initial entity choice dictates your entire registration reality: a solo, straightforward paper trail, or a professionally audited corporate filing. Receiving your official registration certificate or local license is a milestone, but it is not the final step. You must immediately take that paperwork to a bank. You must open a dedicated business current account. Do not run business revenue through your personal savings account. Doing so violates compliance rules and completely voids any liability protection you set up. Once that current account is active, you have the foundation to apply for a GST number, assuming your projected sales volume mandates it. A business is only truly legally operational once its finances are completely and permanently separated from the founder. With the entity registered and the current account open, your startup is officially alive, legally compliant, and cleared to accept client payments. This flowchart illustrates a practical growth strategy. You don't need to have everything figured out on day one. You can start simple as a sole proprietorship to validate your idea and legally convert it into a private limited company later as your revenue scales. If you want to skip the bureaucratic headache entirely and have this handled correctly the first time, check the link in the description to connect with an affordable, certified professional. You now have the exact strategic blueprint required to take your abstract idea and build it into a formal, legally protected enterprise.